It all begins in the absolute silence of the tropical forest with a single microscopic, almost weightless spore falling from the sky. For millions of creatures below, it is just dust. But for the carpenter ant, it is a death sentence that has already taken effect, even though it doesn't suspect a thing yet. The spore lands on its hard, chitinous shell. In that very second, it activates. Secreting caustic, destructive enzymes, it literally burns through the insect's armor like acid, carving a path into its warm, nutrient-rich insides. Thus begins the most terrifying crime in the natural world, a biological hijacking, the perfect enslavement in which the victim doesn't just die, but loses the most valuable thing of all, free will. What happens next forces us to rethink the very concept of a living creature. A fungus called ophiocordyceps begins to grow. Inside the ant, a network of mycelium threads as thin as spider webs takes shape. They stretch throughout the body, entangling internal organs, penetrating every crevice. But for a long time, scientists were mistaken about one critical detail. They thought the fungus infected the insect's brain, turning it into a mindless zombie. Recent scans under electron microscopes have revealed a truth that chills the blood. The cordyceps doesn't touch the brain at all. It acts much more sophisticatedly and brutally. The mycelium threads purposefully envelop every single muscle fiber in the ant's body. The fungus creates its own parallel biological skeleton inside the insect. It physically cuts off the muscles from the host's nervous system. Think for a second about what this means for the ant itself. It remains fully conscious. Its brain is functioning. It sees everything, understands everything. Its instincts are screaming about the danger, but its body no longer obeys it. It becomes a hostage, a passenger inside its own exoskeleton, locked in a dark, claustrophobic prison of its own body, which is now controlled by an alien, cold chemical mind. The fungus begins pumping the ant's body with complex alkaloids. This chemical cocktail breaks the insect's basic instincts. The ant leaves the safety of its colony. Obeying a silent, irresistible command, it begins to climb upward. It climbs up a plant stem until it reaches the perfect spot, exactly 25 centimeters above the ground. Right here, the humidity and temperature are flawless for the parasite to complete its cycle. Having reached the required height, the fungus gives its final, fatal order. The ant bites down with its mandibles onto the central vein of a leaf. In biology, this is called the death grip. As soon as the jaws lock, the cordyceps releases a powerful toxin that permanently destroys the muscle fibers of the jaw. Even if the ant could regain control of its body, it would never be able to unclench those jaws again. Now the insect is no longer needed. The parasite begins to greedily digest its insides, leaving only an empty chitinous shell. And then comes the finale of this macroscopic horror. From the back of the dead ant's head, cracking the shell open, a long spike grows, the fruiting body of the cordyceps. It swells, pulses with life, and ultimately bursts, raining millions of new deadly spores down onto the damp earth, right onto the heads of its unsuspecting brethren. If realizing how easily nature can hack a living body just sent a chill down your spine, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments which parasite or virus we should cover next. And now, let's get back to our puppet master fungus, because the most terrifying part of this story is just beginning. The cordyceps cycle is a flawless mechanism, perfected over millions of years. But watching it, we feel safe. We think we're too big, too complex, and too advanced to fall victim to mold. Our primary shield is our basal body temperature. Most parasitic fungi simply cannot survive at 37 degrees Celsius. Our hot blood literally burns them at the cellular level, but the climate on our planet is inexorably changing. Global warming is slowly but surely forcing fungi to adapt to higher temperatures. Evolution never stops. And let's conduct a thought experiment. Imagine that tomorrow, ophiocordyceps makes a single genetic leap. It overcomes the temperature barrier, and its invisible spores find their way into human lungs. What would this apocalypse look like? Forget Hollywood blockbusters. People wouldn't turn into bloodthirsty monsters, screaming and running through the streets. A true epidemic of mutated cordyceps would be quiet, slow, and absolutely inevitable. After inhaling the spores, you wouldn't notice a thing. The microscopic invaders would enter your bloodstream, adapt to the new environment, and begin moving upward. Unlike insects, the human nervous system is too complex for simple muscle control. The fungus would have to cross the blood-brain barrier and penetrate right into the holy of holies, your brain. But it wouldn't destroy it. A dead host is useless. The fungus would begin a delicate, surgical biochemical manipulation. Mycelial threads would wrap around your cerebral cortex, tapping into your centers of pleasure and fear. You wouldn't even realize you were seriously ill. No coughing, no high fever. You would simply feel a strange, growing apathy toward everything that once had meaning. You would stop answering calls from your family. You would abandon your job. The world around you would lose its colors. And then it would be born inside you. An irresistible, primal, pulsing urge for height. A desire so strong that it would override your instinct for self-preservation and your very will to live. One morning, you would leave your apartment, moving smoothly and deliberately as if in a dream. The fungus inside your head at that moment would be performing complex calculations, evaluating altitude changes, air humidity, and the windrows in your metropolis. Obeying a silent chemical command, you would walk into the tallest building in your city. You would go up to the top floor. You would step out onto the open roof where the cold wind whips at your clothes. Approaching the very edge of the concrete parapet, you would reach out your hands and you would grip the steel railing tightly with your fingers. This would be your human death grip. At that moment, the fungus would release a final paralytic toxin. Your muscles would instantly turn to stone. And only then, standing over the abyss of a massive city, trapped inside your own immobilized alien body, would you finally realize what had happened. You had become nothing more than a perfect biological tower, a platform for dispersion. Your heart would beat for the last time, your breathing would stop, and after a few agonizing weeks, from the folds of your lifeless brain, breaking through the skull, a hideous, glowing fruiting body of the parasite would begin to sprout. It would blossom over the sleeping city to release billions of new spores into the wind currents and start the cycle all over again. We live with the absolute certainty that we are the sovereign masters of our fate, that our thoughts, our decisions, our desires are the manifestation of our great free will. But the mutated cordyceps leaves us face to face with the most terrifying question in biology. If a mindless mold can use simple chemical reactions to hack consciousness and strip a higher being of control over its body, are we really the ones sitting behind the wheel? Or are we simply complex, incredibly fragile biochemical machines? Machines that are ridiculously easy to hack. All it takes is finding the right code.